Hello, everyone, and welcome to the All Four Downs podcast. And before we get started, we're starting with the NFL picks first, and then later on, right after the official top 25, we will have the college football version of All Four Downs. And before we start our show, I'm going to tell you what my top 25 is leading in to the NFL picks. So check it out. Welcome to another All Four Downs Top 25 rankings. Week 11 games cleared up many resumes for the College Football Playoff Committee. This week, should the committee acknowledge a new number one team, or will their rankings be the same? Here is my top 25 predictions as we start with 21 to 25. SMU, Notre Dame, Iowa, James Madison, Utah. SMU is 6-0 in the American Athletic Conference and has one of the best defense. Notre Dame was idle this week. Iowa finally scores over 20 points. James Madison deserves to be acknowledged for the bowl games. Utah falls hard against Washington. 16 to 20, North Carolina, LSU, Oklahoma, Liberty, and Penn State. Tar Heels defeated Duke in overtime. LSU were explosives over Florida Gators. Oklahoma snaps a 2-game losing streak. Liberty keeps winning. Penn State, no match against Washington. 11 to 15, Missouri, Tulane, Toledo, Arizona, Oregon State. Mizzou defeated ranked SEC opponent Tennessee. Tulane leads the American Athletic Conference. Toledo, well, no one's talking about Toledo, no. And Arizona has won 4 in a row, 3 against top 25 teams. And Oregon State hanging on in the Pac-12. Ranking 7 to 10, Alabama, Texas, Louisville, and Ole Miss. Alabama clinches their way to the SEC championship. Texas, they have been outscored in the fourth quarter 2 straight weeks, but they lead the Big 12 conference at this moment. Louisville, they're staying strong in the ACC, and Ole Miss lost to Georgia 52 to 17. The College Football Committee will announce their official rankings on Tuesday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, between 2 college basketball games. Will their rankings be the same, or will they have an adjustment due to the team's resume? Here is my final top 6. Number 6, Oregon. They stayed the same in my previous rankings. Number 5, Florida State. They are 10-0 but struggling to win against Miami, and the eye test is to be considered. Defeating LSU is probably the best thing in their schedule, but Clemson and Duke, well, their value has gone down. Number 4, Ohio State. The Big Ten Conference is not elite, and the Buckeyes are beating their scheduled opponents. But there is another Big Ten school that is better at this moment against Ohio State. I will mention that team in just moments. Number 3, Washington. Give the Huskies some respect. It is difficult to remain unbeaten in the Pac-12. They have played and won 5 of the top 25 teams and will go on again on the road against a ranked opponent, Oregon State. Washington defeated Utah 35 to 28. Number 2, Michigan, the Wolverines. They played their cards right against all odds. Yeah, there must be the villain this year, but Michigan defeated Penn State. They did it without their head coach, John Harbaugh. He has missed 4 games, and yet the team is currently with a record 10-0. And number 1, no excuses here. Each week, this team has proven, and the committee and the media, that they are the best team in the nation, and they are the 2-time defending champions, Georgia Bulldogs. The coaching staff is elite, and they have their players ready at all times. And that is my top 25 prediction. Tune in to the All Four Downs podcast every Tuesday after the College Football Committee announce their official top 25. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NFL version of the show. Hector, man, what a crazy Sunday that we got to witness. 5 game-winning field goals, and teams that were supposed to win just, man, it was just a shocker to see that the results wasn't there for the ones we thought they were playoff contenders.
Yeah, we kind of started off strong, looking like we was going to run away with this weekend, but things took a turn, and that's why they play the game. You just never know.
No,
We
we
can,
never know, and we'll talk about those teams that didn't get there for us. And we'll start with the AFC East. That division, the Miami Dolphins were the bye week, but the Buffalo Bills losing on Sunday. Monday
Monday.
night.
Yeah.
Um, the Bills losing, man. I mean, what's going on with the Bills? They ended up firing their offensive coordinator after the game.
Turnovers, just costly mistakes, not knowing your whereabouts. I mean, there was no reason why they should have lost that game. There should have been no reason why it was as close as it was, giving chance after chance for Denver to win this game. You know, Buffalo's not what they were like the Super Bowl contender 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They're starting to fall at the waistline.
Yeah, and having Brian Dable not being with them as an offense coordinator, it has some effect, right?
Yeah.
Even though this is his second year with the New York Giants, and the Giants, well, that's another story.
Mm.
But being there in Buffalo, you see the effects that now his excuse me, being not with the team and trying to be the original, it just is not working. That offense is not as strong as it used to be, and you would thought that you know throwing the ball in the air was the answer, and quite frankly, that's not. They don't have a running game, and it's not a one man show. This is supposed to be a team effort, and
Hmm.
and I've been questioning. I know you've been going for the Buffalo Bills,
Yeah.
especially 2 years ago. You were so into it, but you got to have a running back, you got to have receivers, you got to have an offensive line. You just got to have the package. And sadly, the Bills have that defense, but that offense is just not producing.
Nah,
Um,
there's. I mean,
I
it
mean, they're
looks.
better than New England. I mean, they just fired Mac Jones as a starting quarterback. But the Zach Wilson is still there, and sooner or later, Aaron Rodgers is going to appear.
Yeah, I'm not going to count on it. This race looks tight, but by the numbers. But honestly, I think Miami is going to run away with this.
Yeah, Miami's going to run away just to make the playoffs and then get eliminated in the wild card. That's my prediction. AFC North, I think, is the most competitive. Surprisingly, that the Bengals lost to the Texans. I mean, I didn't see that coming. And then they wanted to play. They wanted to play the second half. Sorry, you got to play all four quarters.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm liking the Cleveland Browns and all this. I really do. And I got to bust you for a second because you claimed here last week that the Ravens had the best defense, that they're just torturing their opponents with their D, and they had no D to prove on Sunday.
No, giving up 16 unanswered points. I'm just watching this thing just collapse. I'm like, are we serious right now? But I like it because it happened within the division games, and so it's kind of unpredictable because this is the best division in football right now this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did tell you, Ravens still got to prove to me, and they proved me right. They don't have the best defense, and I just not sold. I'm still not sold with the Ravens. I really am not. In the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars are hanging on there at 6-3, and surprisingly, the Houston Texans are winning with CJ Stroud, the rookie.
He's comfortable. He's surrounded by a team that's making him feel comfortable and playing well. And hey, he's just quietly just strolling on up there. Watch
And
out,
I'm gonna tell you
Jacksonville.
right now, the Texans don't have players that are extremely paid. Okay,
Mhm.
they're all young, and it just best fit for their head coach, who, by the way, was the former defensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers, and they're doing one hell of a job. They're up front of the Colts and the Titans. And the
Yeah,
AFC West, the Kansas City Chiefs are running away with that division. The Raiders, two in a row under Adam Pierce, right?
Antonio Pierce. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Antonio Pierce. Sorry, I'm thinking about the WWE general manager on Raw. Um, but it's going to stop. We'll talk about that later. But they're 2-0 against both New York teams. So
Hmm.
congratulations to him. But sometimes the party is about to stop. Yes,
Yes.
the DJ does go home. And then the Chargers and Broncos. I'm gonna tell you right now, the head coach of the Chargers should be on the hot seat, And if they finish under 500, bye bye. I'm
Or
just
even if
saying.
or even if they finish under Denver Broncos and go
Oh
bye-bye.
man. And look at the playoffs real quick in the AFC. So far, the playoff standings, the Chiefs are running by with the number one seed. Again, I'm surprised. The Houston Texans are in the seventh seed right now in the playoffs. Should the season will end right now, and the Browns. So this is pretty spectacular here.
It is. It looks kind of tight still at the top, but we should see some distance within the next couple of weeks. I'm not going to say by who, but it should start separating itself.
And it starts this weekend, definitely. And the AFC, I'm sorry, the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles are 8-1, a big cushion for them in that division. Definitely, they're
Hmm.
going to win another NFC East. For the
Oh yeah,
Cowboys, it just seems like they know how to bully all those losers and can't win the big games.
right. That's all it is. Until they can prove that they can hang with the elites.
Man,
I'm
you saw
sorry.
them smiling. You saw Dak smiling and everything, and everyone's celebrating. Hey, did y'all forget that y'all were playing the Giants? I mean, the Giants are now this year's bye week, so it, the- it's a
If it
record setting against the rivalry of how many yards they put up. But honestly, it's like, why are you celebrating a team that r- really doesn't have anything?
no, because he wasn't smiling against Philadelphia. He wasn't smiling against San Francisco. Those are the teams you need to be focusing on trying to win. I
Mm,
mean, you're winning the games that you're supposed to, but you're not winning the
mm,
games that you're not. And then don't forget that third loss was an embarrassing loss to the Arizona Cardinals. So
mm.
there's nothing to smile about with the 6-3 record because you have not proven anything yet.
And you live
Sorry.
in Texas, so I feel sorry for you for this weekend because
Honestly, it's been quiet. The
oh
Cowboy
yeah,
fans have been, I won't say tamed, but they know in their role right now.
they
They
know. They know
yeah,
that the rock was in the building.
yes,
Know
yeah,
your role.
yeah. They smelling what the Eagles are cooking over here.
The NFC North, the Detroit Lions. Um, to be honest, with you, I did not have them winning the division. Um, and it's looked like they might not. I mean, listen, I know they came out from the bye week and they lost, I think to Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
And then well, they bounced back and won, but the Minnesota Vikings, they made a trade. They got Dobbs as their quarterback from Arizona, and
Hmm.
this guy is lighting it up. This guy's adding that fire. The fans are fantastic. I mean, I tell you what, it just sparkles over there in Minnesota.
It is, and I like that Minnesota has an actual decent quarterback. But I'm not intimidated by the Vikings in this situation. I think the Lions still got control of this, and I think they will take care of this. I mean, yet, they haven't played the Vikings. So I think that's what's going to be interesting because they played the Vikings twice in the last 3 games of the season. So that could be make or break for either team there as far as winning this North. But
Hmm.
I'm really not intimidated. Eventually, I think Dobbs is going to get, humbled a little bit here. Eventually,
Dallas.
no, Minnesota, Hobbs,
Oh,
Dobbs,
oh, oh,
Dobbs,
oh,
Dobbs.
Dobbs. You said, oh yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
he'll be humbled eventually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The NFC South. We got no one here to wanting to have the desire to win this division. The Saints
Hmm.
are 5-5. The Bucks are 4-5. The Falcons are 4-6, and the Carolina Panthers are 1-8. I had expected the Carolina Panthers to fall hard. Um, the Atlanta Falcons, I'm a big surprise because I had them winning the division.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna sit here and gloat because I got the Saints winning the division. I mean, this is just these teams. They're confusing. You just
They
don't know what
are.
you're gonna get week by week. I've been telling you that when I seem to pick the Saints, they lose, and when I go against them, they want to win. They're trying to piss me off or something. That's not even my team. I'm just picking you to win the division.
Hey, the Tampa Bay head coach Todd Bowles should be on the hot seat and should be his last year with that team. The NFC West, the San Francisco 49ers, I had them winning this division, but they're tied with Seattle. Interesting to see how this will play off. Their players are coming back healthy, and we should see the separation with the 49ers and the rest of this division.
Don't count them Seahawks out yet. I mean, they play hard football. They're playing good football. But what's going to be the make or break is that they still got the 49ers 2 times in 3 weeks coming up starting Thanksgiving. So that's
Mm.
going to be an interesting situation for both the Niners and the Seahawks.
Interesting situation indeed, because as of right now, the Eagles and the Lions are on top, the 49ers, and then, of course, the Saints. I'm going to tell you right now, if there's anything that I wish the NFL could change, is this. You could be a division champion. Congratulations. But division champs should have an awesome record leading in. And I am for the top 7 best teams of each conference to go to the playoffs. I really do. And for the Saints and the NFC South that can't be able to win, if they finish like 7-10 in first place, I don't think they should even go to the playoffs. That's just my opinion. But
So,
um,
with that being said, do you feel like even if the Saints, let's just throw that as an example,
mhm.
let's say the Saints win the division, but if they don't have one of the 7 top records, they should not make the playoffs, even
No,
as a
they could
division
be
winner?
they'd be considered division winners, but they should not make the playoffs.
Right.
It's just like college football, right? They make
Well,
the top 4 teams, even the conference champions. Not all conference champions can make it to the playoffs.
right. No,
So,
I see what you're saying. I
mhm,
mean, I think that's
right.
something the NFL should be thinking about because I
I
believe in
want the
the
best teams to play in the playoffs.
yeah,
I mean,
because
that's why they call the playoffs for.
the NBA does that right now. They have changed that up several years ago to where they go by record, not by
Mhm.
who won their division. But yeah,
Right.
you're right. I mean, because this is just telling us that we could play mediocre football and still win a division and make the playoffs and get a home win. If anything, um, I say this. I'm not going to I mean, I see where you're coming from. I
Mhm.
say this. Okay, if you're going to allow the division winners to take the to be in the playoffs, then they should not have a home game. If you're going to put the
Right.
Saints in there at number
Right.
4, do not give them the home game. So if they got to
Or
play
you know
the
what? Take them out of the 4th seed and make them 7th seed.
right, right,
Right? I mean, if they're gonna go on the road, you might as well bump them to numbers or whatever their record is. But
yeah,
as of
because
right now, they only got 5 wins.
right,
Why
and
would
as
they be in the playoffs?
and they would be playing Seattle in New Orleans, and would that favor the Saints or would that favor
Mm,
the Seahawks?
I like that.
Yeah,
All right, but hey, we could debate this later on. I'm sure
yeah,
everyone probably has something different. But let's go on to our picks. Because we are definitely got to squeeze in some time here. We'll
yeah.
start off with Thursday night football, the Bengals and the Ravens. I picked the Bengals at plus 3.5. I think that even regardless if the game, whoever's going to win is going to win by 3 points. That is my prediction. But I
Right.
wish this game was on a Sunday so both teams will have better plan, because this is a rivalry.
Yeah.
And I feel like one of these teams are not going to be quietly prepared, but history shows that Bengals do good in Baltimore. So I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going with Baltimore on this one. I think this is a bounce back short week for them. The Ravens are 7-3 overall, but they're 7-2 when they lead at halftime. So I think if they get a lead into the half against the Bengals, this is going to be tougher. I agree, because Joe Burrow is back. When they beat Cincinnati earlier this year in week 2, there was no Burrow, and there was still a close game. But I think
Mhm.
Baltimore will get this done and sweep the series against the Bengals this
Nah,
year.
man, it's gonna even be tighter, and we're gonna be left and
Man,
scratching our head. Who's coming out the north?
right.
The Redskins and the Giants at 1 o'clock p.m. on Sunday. The Commanders will take charge in this game.
Oh, please, tell me about it. The Giants are dead last in offense, so don't even go there. I mean, look, the Washington is confused themselves. They don't know what they want to do, where they're going either, but at least they have a little better formula than the Giants. So, yeah, give me Washington.
All right, and you know what? Big shout out to Roberto Chavez, who
Ah,
is on my side right now with the Bengals and the Redskins. And man, good job. See, he knows
nah,
the real deal.
he needs to get some sleep.
Steelers and the Browns. I actually got this as a low scoring game.
Okay.
And if you are the betting man, I will actually pick the under in this game. But Cleveland's favorite 3.5. I'm actually going for the Browns to win.
Yeah, I got the Browns too. I think after how they played against Baltimore, I hope that doesn't get to their head here. But going against this Pittsburgh Steelers team, this is a rival. We know
Especially
this.
being at home, is the hype
Yeah,
is there.
yeah,
Absolutely.
this is so. Yeah, I think they will get it done.
The Bears versus the Lions. Man, I wish this was a rivalry, but this is pretty much more like, hey, how do we stand? How can we make things better for the Lions? The Lions favorite 9.5. I'm going on DraftKings and I'm gonna push it to minus 16.5 on that. So yes, I am booking it. Lions whipping on the Bears.
Oh yeah, I got him too because the Bears are 1-4 on the road, and then they're averaging more than two turnovers a game in those losses on the road here. So, and they're
Mhm.
allowing almost 300 yards a game on the road. If that's not a formula for the Lions to take advantage of that, then I don't know what is. Give me the Lions.
All right. Big shout out to Frank Cuesta. He says Lions, that's a no-brainer. So definitely. Here we go. Chargers and the Packers. So the Packers are 0-2 against the AFC West, but both those games were on the road.
Right.
They're going to be home on this one. And later on in the season, the Chiefs will go to town and visit the Packers. But for now, I'm actually going to go on crunch time for the Chargers to take that victory at Green Bay.
Yeah, I don't see any hope in Jordan Love. I mean, he's thrown what I think 8 of 10 interceptions in the second half
Mhm.
of the game. So even if it's a close game in the first half, there should be no reason why Herbert have a good second half against the Packers in Lambeau.
All
So
right. Raiders and the Dolphins. Look, the Raiders, congratulations for being 2-0 for your head coach. Both of them against New York teams. But now here comes the reality part. You're going to Miami and you're going to lose. I'm taking the Dolphins.
yeah, give me the Dolphins. I don't see the Raiders doing much, especially with the Dolphins having a good run defense. I don't. Yeah, the Raiders is gonna pump the brakes here.
All right, you Cowboy fans. I know you're out there. Go ahead and gloat because this is another victory against a team that only has one win. They will go to Carolina and they might sing that song, Go Carolina, Some old school shit if you don't know what that is, but
Yeah.
definitely Cowboys.
Yeah, well, give me the Cowboys. I mean, the Panthers may do a little bit like the Giants did at the second half, but it
They
ain't gonna
just
do
make their resume better to go and clinch into the playoffs. That's all it is. But
it.
we
Yeah,
all know that the Cowboys can't beat the contenders. So
no,
the Titans visits the Jaguars. I actually have Jaguars at home winning against the Titans. Jaguars are actually have a 2-game winning streak against the Titans. And there's no difference here. I know the Jaguars came with a big L last week, but they
man.
will definitely come back and win at home.
Yeah, I think they shake that off and kind of contain Will Levis a little bit here. So yeah, I think Jacksonville gets the rebound.
Frank says the Jags might lose.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he might be right. I mean, these days you don't even know. I got tricked last Sunday. But this one, I'm not gonna get tricked. The Cardinals go and visit the Texans. They got Keith Murray back. Hey, congratulations. Oh, Kyle Murray,
Kyle
excuse me, not
Murray.
the not the rapper, excuse me. Um, but I'm on the bad wagon. I am going for the Houston Texans at home. They're 3-1 for a reason. And that coach got that team right. CJ Stroud is having a career. He already won the rookie of the year. Let's see if they could have talks about having the what's that called? The MVP season. Even though he won't be chosen, but it's a great conversation. So give me
Yeah.
CJ Stroud and the Texans.
Yeah, I like the way the Texans are playing football right now. So yeah, give me them to beat the Cardinals at home.
All right, and tune in later on at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time after the announcement of the official top 25 is all four downs podcast of the road to the college football playoffs. And we go ahead with the evening games here. The Bucks visits the 49ers. I'm taking the 49ers, and definitely it might be they might prevent the Buccaneers from scoring a touchdown in this game.
Well, I think so. And I think the 49ers are going to do a whole lot of rushing in this game against that Bucks rushing defense. They're getting their healthy back, and man, they're getting their ball game back. So yeah, give me them over the Bucks.
All right, the Jets and the Bills. All right, Jersey versus upstate New York. um, uh, listen, we all know that the Jets don't have that offense. The Jets and the Patriots really have a lot of similarities. They just can't put up a lot of points.
Yeah.
The Bills, they're gonna make that comeback after a loss, and they're gonna redeem themselves. They're gonna have a new offensive coordinator since their old one just got fired after the game. But this is going to be a great one. I'm taking the Bills to win.
I'm going to take the Bills. I hope they can, extend this 3-game home winning streak against the Jets. But I'm kind of concerned about Josh Allen with all these interceptions. Okay, he's thrown like 9 touchdowns and 10 interceptions in a 10 career start against the New York Jets. Okay, so this is not looking well. But I'm hoping they can bounce back. Give me the Bills to win at home, and if you don't, then oh boy.
Oh boy, I know. The Seattle Seahawks visiting the Los Angeles Rams. I'm taking the Seahawks.
Look,
I mean,
Seahawks.
the Rams has won one out of the last 5 games. I don't know what's up with the Rams, but the Seahawks, they got potential. That's why I'm picking Seattle.
I know, right? The Rams beat them in week one. But this is a whole different Seahawks team. They're quietly sneaking up. Nobody's putting a lot of respect behind their name. They won 3 of the last 4 games. And so I think Geno Smith's going to get things done in LA.
Absolutely. All right. The Vikings versus the Denver Broncos. I'm going for the Vikings, man. I love Dobbs. And I'm going to tell you this, man. I think the Arizona Cardinals made a mistake letting Dobbs go. They took a chance because Murray is back. But being that Vikings need a quarterback because Cousins is out for the
Right.
season, they made a great choice. And that offense is explosive. And I know Frank is going for the Broncos, but I tell you what, the defense have not seen the caliber of Dobbs, the way he runs around that field. You don't know if he's throwing or running. That's going to make a difference there. That's why I'm taking the Vikings to beat the Broncos.
The Vikings got the third best. They ranked third in the league in passing, and that's going to bode well for them against a defense that's ranked last statistically in the league for Denver. So Dobbs
I
will
like
get it done.
I like how Roberto Chavez said 500 yards. He's going to have 500 both passing combined with running. So, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. The Vikings going to have a good day.
And now we're going to have a Super Bowl rematch between these two quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts and what's his name?
Mahomes,
Mahomes.
Auto,
Sound like
Mahomes,
Mahone in Spanish, right? No.
Mahone.
Got him. Anyways, I had to say that though. The Eagles versus the Chiefs. That is a Monday Night Football. What a
Yes,
coincidence.
it's
But
gonna.
hey, I got the Eagles beating the Chiefs this Monday Night Football.
Wow.
And
Okay.
the reason why is I don't think the Chiefs have been battle tested all season long. And I don't think their offense is as good as they were from last year and the year before. I think that defense been carrying this team. And when they face the Eagles, I think the Eagles have improved from last year. They know, and they got it, man. They got the juice. I'm taking the Eagles.
The Eagles offense versus the Chiefs defense is going to be a great matchup. But I'm sorry to say, I know you kind of claim that we're going to have one pick difference. Stop right there, buddy. I got the Chiefs in this game. Jalen Hurt has thrown 8 interceptions this year. 6 of them were on the road. One of them cost them the game against the Jets. Okay, he threw 3 picks in that game. If this Chiefs defense finds that hole and start picking them off, this is going to be a long night for the Eagles. And I don't see how the defense of the Eagles is going to slow down that offensive juggernaut of the Kansas City Chiefs. This is going to be a good game. It's going to be a close game. But at the end, I think Patrick Mahomes makes a little bit more plays and throws it to Kelsey, a.k.a. Maoto. And and they will win and beat the Eagles, giving the Eagles their
Yo, my
second
auto's
loss.
gonna need some oil because I think it's running out, and I'm sorry.
I
But
got the
I
Chiefs.
like it. You got the
Yeah.
Chiefs, I got the Eagles, and we'll see what's going on this weekend when we with the NFL games going on, and we'll be back next Tuesday right here live, and of course, your boy Ovi is going to tie Hector in the standings. That's
Nah,
right.
I'm just gonna have to stretch this out like a rubber band. I'm gonna take you like a rubber band, just stretch you out.
Yeah, you might end up breaking some tendons or something when you stretching, man. I mean, good
Yeah,
lord.
I'm gonna put you on the IR for the rest of the year.
Take care, everyone. Gotta love some football.